So hi, all of you. After a long time, there's a video session that I'm conducting right now. So this is a very important session with regards to the list of heading questions in your reading module. Now, when I have been teaching or taking sessions on reading in Ielts, and I've been doing the list of heading questions with most of my students, um, there's a common myth, or I can say there's a very common concept that I've come to um, learn about from my learners or from my students, and that is about keywords. So most of the students, they are like, ma'am, why do we even have to go through the entire paragraph thoroughly when we are answering list of heading questions? From somewhere, they have come to know that list of heading questions can also be done with the help of only keyword mapping. Now, in this context, I would like to tell you something that even before you believe in all these things, you need to apply your logic, you need to apply your common sense, and definitely understand that what exactly is the objective of a list of heading question. Let me tell you, in reading module in IELTS, be it academic, be it general training, list of heading questions are the kind of questions wherein you get a passage. In that passage, you have a couple of paragraphs, and for every paragraph, you have to find out the most suitable and feasible heading. Now, my question is that if you tell me that without even reading through the entire paragraph, you can just do a heading question by matching the words in the heading with the words in the paragraph or the passage, is that something which is practical? I don't think so. The word heading itself means that you are supposed to talk about the summary of the paragraph, the central idea, the concept, the most talked about item in the paragraph, right? So, how would you even understand the most talked about item in the paragraph without even going through the entire paragraph? So please understand that when it comes to list of heading questions, it is very, very, very important that you are going through the entire paragraph thoroughly. And when I say thoroughly, it is very important that you do the underlining of the most important words, you do the circling of the transition words, you connect and combine the ideas between the different sentences in your list of heading questions. So from now onwards, after watching my video, make it sure that whenever you come across list of heading questions, you are not just matching the keywords. You are reading through the paragraph, you are underlining, you are circling, and you're making a note of the central idea, and then going to the list of heading to find out the correct heading. So I think this is going to be a very important and a breakthrough video when it comes to the list of heading questions. Number one. Number two, most of the students, they often ask that, ma'am, if we go through the entire paragraph, would we get so much of time? Because we have so many passages to work on in the IELTS reading. So going through the entire passage might take a lot of time. Now, my point is that going through the entire paragraph or going through the entire passage would not take a lot of time if you become an expert in that. And what exactly do we understand by becoming an expert? So you have to practice a lot. So if you have to score good in your reading, if you have to kind of, identifying the central idea of the paragraph easily, then you have to do a lot of practice so that you can become a pro in that. Also, going through the entire paragraph to have an overall idea, going through the entire passage to have an overall idea is technically known as skimming. Okay, so in the world of IELTS or in the world of TOEFL or you take any English language exam, whenever you go through the entire paragraph or whenever you go through the entire passage to have an overall idea or global understanding of the passage, that is known as skimming. Now, there is a fine line of difference between skimming and scanning. Skimming means you are not focusing on the details or the facts, numbers or data. You're not focusing on the specific things. You're kind of reading the paragraph to have an overall idea of the paragraph. I think I could make it clear. So skimming the paragraph to find out the list of heading or to find out the heading basically means that you are going through the entire paragraph to have an overall understanding without focusing on a particular word, without focusing on a particular data. This is known as skimming. Scanning is all about focusing on important and specific details and specific data. So this is the basic difference. So there are certain questions like list of heading questions where skimming is important. There are certain questions like true and false not given, where scanning is important. So scanning is definitely a part, or we can say a part of most of the reading strategies, but skimming is something wherein you are focusing on the global idea or the entire idea, not focusing on individual words. Because most of the times when you go through a paragraph or you come across a word or a data that you find hard to understand, and immediately you're frustrated, you're demotivated. That, ma'am, there are so many words in the paragraph, we don't even understand the meaning of the word. We don't even understand the meaning of this data or the relevance of this data. So remember, we are not focusing on individual words or individual details when we are skimming or when we are reading the paragraph for the overall understanding. We are just going through the paragraph to have an overall idea or general idea from the paragraph. When it comes to scanning, that is when we are focusing on important data or details and facts. So um, this 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 was something which I really want to convey to most of my students, and to the aspirants who are basically writing their IELTS, because number one, students, they don't understand the difference between skimming and scanning, and they end up applying the wrong technique or wrong strategy for the different questions in reading. Okay. And the technique of skimming, that is also important. So I'm also thinking of making another video wherein I'll be showing very clearly, or if you can refer the previous videos on list of heading questions, you will see that skimming is what I have done. So I have kind of shown the technique in detail, very elaboratively, how exactly to do your skimming. So if you like this video, then do like, subscribe, and share, and enroll for our sessions. So that's something that you can do to have a better understanding and clearer insight into all these international test products. Hope you like this, and see you again in some other video session. Thank you so much. Bye for now.